Well, hi everyone. It's good to be here. This is Portal 2. A lot of the runs we've seen throughout the day have been a lot of, more complicated skipping and a lot of complicated, like, you don't know what this game is, and you don't know, like, you don't know what's going to happen next. This is Regulation Portal 2, and I'll get into it pretty quick here. You can see we're loading from a fresh file here. We're just going to be starting in Chapter 1 with everything that we need to go. For the purposes of this run, we'll start time when I gain control of the cursor, which will be in just... we still got the 4-3 cut. We'll focus on it a bit. Time will be in 3, 2, 1, and time.
Must be revived periodically for a mandatory physical and mental wellness exercise.
So while we get that sorted out, this is the container ride, right? This is the opening, like, 5-minute cutscene, right? But it gives me a lot of good excuses to make good jokes about what we're doing and explain a lot of the tech that we're going to be using in this run.
The gymnastic portion of your mandatory
as you can see, you've been sitting in here for about 1 billion years.
There is a framed painting on the wall.
I'm going to stare in front of this art, but this game, right, you're going to see a lot of...
You will hear a buzzer. When you hear the buzzer,
a lot of stuff that's... you're going to see a lot of stuff that's a lot of source movement. If you're familiar with source games, you'll know about bunny hopping. You'll notice I'm actually pressing space over there in the bottom right-hand corner. We'll talk about how you can see that right about later in the run. But until
now, please return to your bed.
We do that, we're just going to hit this bedtime. We're about a minute into the run, and we'll start our little adventure.
Good morning. You have been in
about an unspecified amount of years later. Coming through this door is everyone's favorite little circle.
Anyone in there?
Wheatley's here. If you know Wheatley, he's the little British punk that comes in and disturbs your sleep.
I'm absolutely sure you're fine. There's plenty of time for you to recover.
But, he becomes your friend over the course of the next couple chapters. We'll be seeing a lot of him in the next little bit. But during this cutscene, right, he's going to ask us to do exactly 2 things, and both of them are to say apple. So, of course, we're going to do that, but it does give me a great excuse to, kind of when we get going, explore how the movement tech is going to work.
Down there? Can you hear me?
So he's going to pop out of the ceiling here. See, look, there he is. He's safe, he's fine, he's driving us around.
Experience some cognitive deterioration after a few months in suspension. Now, you've been under for quite a lot longer,
sleeping,
and it's not out
also
of the question.
Yeah, I was going to take the moment. Behind me on the couch here is
Goob Driven.
runner and organizer of Midwest Speedfest and subsequent events. This is Gooby. He's right behind me. He likes to have fun. So what I'm doing right now, you can see I'm mashing space.
You just jumped, but never mind. Say apple.
Because that's how he thinks we should say apple, of course. The next 3 minutes can be me explaining exactly why we're doing this. If I mash space here, right, you can see I'm jumping perfectly as I hit the ground. Now that's going to keep my momentum as stuff starts moving around. If I keep going, it's going to push me around this building this way and that. Now, if I'm looking at walking forward, right, we can go across this in about, I don't know, 2-3 seconds. There's stuff in the way right now, so we can't count it real accurately. But if we walk forward and we curve at the same time, if I lean on my A and D keys, I'm going to go across this place way faster. That's called strafing. And with that jump, with that perfect jump that we have, we can utilize that to keep momentum that we gain in the air by strafing. What you'll see at the beginning of a lot of chambers is a circle jump. It's called that because when we started playing the game, again, this is an old game, it's 11 years old. When we started playing the game, people would do a full circle and then jump out of an elevator like that. You'll see a lot of that as the game progresses. However, using that perfect bunny hop and the strafing that we're doing, we can do something called bunny hopping, where we can keep momentum that we keep in the air and go in a really, really straight line. Now, there is a caveat to this. Of course, if you go too fast, in fact, above exactly 300 units a second, you don't need to know exactly how fast that is. But you'll actually lose the ability to turn, and that's going to be a little bit of a hindrance to future maps and a few chambers later when we have a couple more tricks coming up. Some of the more complicated stuff over in the top corner, there's a little box for the dialogue phase, which I'll talk about when we get into the chamber here. There's at the top left corner, the very top left corner, is a positional analog telling me exactly where I am and where I'm looking. The thing below that is an in-game timer, which right now is real time, but as soon as we load something, it's not going to be. And below that is an incredibly more precise positional analog that'll tell me where I am and where I'm looking.
Hello.
So now we're in this container, right? We're going to hang out in here. I'm going to see if I can throw this clipboard in this toilet.
Almost.
Like, you know, you try to get it, and it's like, normally you got to try and get it off the backboard, kind of.
Let's see, you're like Shaq doing free throws,
right?
Same game, right?
Same game. Same game. Oh,
close.
This is hard to do.
So that science can still be
No,
done,
that
even in
looks
the
hard.
event of environmental, social, economic, or structural collapse. The portal will open, and emergency
downtown.
testing will begin in 3,
All right, here we go.
2, 1.
You got close, though.
So now we're playing Portal 2, which I'm sure you know that we're watching. If you weren't aware, you wouldn't know exactly.
Oh, what? We're playing Portal 2?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I just did one dialogue skip there just by running through that door at a specific time. But what we're going to see at the end of the next chamber is I'm going to wait at the front of the elevator, at the ending elevator, that is. I'm not going to wait at the start elevator. That would be a little silly. But at the ending elevator, we're going to be waiting for a little bit.
You are simply experiencing a rare reaction in which
Catch
material emancipation
the
growth
dialogue
may
fade,
be
not
noticeably
unlike the
introduced
bus
inside
analogy
your head.
in Super Mario World or Super Mario Brothers, what have you. The ending elevators only change the level every now and again. It checks every, you know, there's a specific amount of time in the elevator shaft where it checks how to do that. But we want to get the best fade that we can, so we're spending less time in the elevator and more time playing. I also went early on that one, so you'll see a little bit of delay there, but like that wasn't exactly perfect. Normally it'll just fade out right exactly when that dialogue ends. This third map here is Portal Gun, aptly named because it's where you get the portal gun. Except it's not the full portal gun. We'll come down the way and we'll get this huge fall and we'll get a little momentum boost, although I didn't do it exactly correctly. And we get just the blue portal. We're going to do another dialogue skip here, saves about 7.5 seconds.
It's just the Midwest Speedfest colored portal. Just the blue one.
Good.
Ooh, I messed that one up.
Ah.
I'm just going to wait for you up ahead.
Good. That's better.
If you feel that military android
Now, what
not
you might have
respecting your rights
noticed
as detailed in the laws of
is
robotics,
during
please
that,
note it on your
Wheatley
self-reporting
started
form.
saying
A
something,
future Aperture Science
and then the
Design
announcer just
Associate
cut him off.
will
It's
issue
like
appropriate
disrespectful.
filing paperwork.
He should not be able to do that.
Unreal.
We do that a lot more later in the run. But again, like I was saying, Portal 2 is a game where you don't really do a whole lot of skipping. Of course, this is inbounds, no SLA, meaning you can use quick saves and quick loads. That's what I did to get that dialogue skip back. But you can't, like, for example, abuse them to walk, you know, to lock buttons down or anything like that. But what we just did is one of the things that does fundamentally look really weird to a casual player. It's to do with portal bubbles. If you have a portal next to an object, say a door, you can have, if you have another object, say a cube, in between the portal bubbles, so to speak, of those two objects, then you can clip through one of them. We'll use that later in the run as well.
Meteorites or other objects from space.
Do you think they can bring back the saxophone music too?
Regrettably, no, we won't see that ever again. Although, if you do want to see some actual music, you can always donate to that donation instead of for me to sing the credits at the end of the run.
You at home.
You actually met that incentive. You will be singing today.
Sick!
Yeah!
That's how we
go.
do it.
Woo! Yes, there we go. Get the
You can always
claps
donate
going.
more. That's
Yeah.
good. Fantastic. Now, what you're going to see me do here, and what I did in the previous chamber, is kind of come down, and we're going to portal stand ourselves. We're going to stand in that portal and walk backwards as it tries to push us out, but kind of not that great. It's not doing really a great job doing that. And so we're going to walk back through there. We did the same thing with the cube, and what we did just there is called a button glitch. Again, aptly named because you glitched the button.
That said, if you are
Creative naming.
bold, or irradiated in
second
such
here.
a way that the future should not start with you. Please return to your primitive tribe
There
and
we go.
send back someone
We're not the
qualified for
future, I
testing.
guess.
No. But what we did there is a button glitch. It's
To ensure
performed
that
by
power remains for core testing
having a
protocols,
button only be
all safety
active for
devices
exactly
have been
one
disabled.
tick of
The
time,
Enrichment
and it
Center
tricks the
respects
game's
your
engine
right to
into
have
thinking
questions or concerns about this policy.
that we're actually
I'm up
doing
here.
something. I'm a little too far in this setup here. There we go. A little farther than we're supposed to be. Now what I did there was shoot through a door that you're not supposed to do. You'll notice that I was able to just skip that entire cutscene. That was originally found by Kersey Howe. Shout out to him for building actually a sizable portion of the Portal 2, modding framework. He's built the Portal 2 speedrun mod, a thing that makes it faster to run the game. Found that, found a couple of other strats. Is currently experimenting with seam shots, which we'll talk actually a lot on later.
Okay, I'm going to lay my cards on the table. I don't want to do
But it's
I don't
actually
wanna go
a
in
very
there.
cool
Don't
trick.
go in
It's
there.
not a
She's
seam
off.
shot.
She's
That
off.
shot
She's off.
wasn't.
She's off.
That's actually a very, very
She
small
is.
hole in the door
What a
that you
nasty
can just
piece
shoot
of
through
work
if
she
you look
was,
correctly
honestly.
at it. We'll use that
Come
again
in.
later in the run. As we get to the midpoint of the game. Unfortunately, I'm kind of running into a few things here.
Intended. It's all good.
Yeah, but we're still having a pretty good run here. One thing that I'm not doing right now is I'm not going for a trick that's called Bets Writer. This is kind of a 2-minute cutscene, so I get to explain a little bit about it. It's called Bets Writer because we're good at naming things, and Bets Runner was right.
Look at something else. Look at the next thing, all right? But don't touch anything else.
There
on
is
the
a
thing.
trick
Look at other
you'll
things
kind of
that
see as we
you
kind of
understand.
go up here,
you see it
where we
anywhere?
can
I can't see it anywhere.
use this moving
tell you what,
platform. It'll
plug
move up
me
in a
in
little
and I'll
bit.
turn the lights on.
Where we can use that and jump on top of it
Let there be light.
to
That's,
jump over the invisible wall at the top, and then we can grab a clipboard that happens to be on the ground and jump on that so the collision doesn't get us, and then we can just fall down the escape hatch about 6.5 seconds earlier than you're supposed to. Now that's not a huge time save in the grand scheme of an hour-long run. But you'll notice here I kind of got stuck on that invisible wall as I jumped there. And there's an escape hatch over there. If you kind of shoot through this, none of this stuff is actually solid, so you can shoot through that. There's a wall up there you can just figure out. But the most important thing in this cutscene here is not actually the rising robot out of the ashes, but it is in fact Hoopy. Everyone say hi, Hoopy.
Hello.
This is Hoopy. He fell from the sky at the end of Portal 1 and found his way here. Now what you can do, if you think about it hard enough, is you just put him right there. You just set him right there because he doesn't want to be like damp.
No, of course not.
Oh,
Can't do
hi.
that. Oh, no.
It was good. See, I would love to sit and protect Hoopy,
you did what?
but I can't do that. Unfortunately, the plot has to progress. Wheatley has to be absolutely ripped out of his socket there and tossed into a bin, as you'll see right about. Well, he's trash now, so he goes in the trash. We'll see him later, don't worry about it. He fixes himself. I'm not entirely sure how.
Hoopy, no.
Yeah, right.
I will say though that since you went to all
Dearest
the
friend.
trouble of waking me up, you must
But so we're looking at the end of this cutscene here.
really
That's
love
that
to
hatch. It
test.
opens right there. So normally,
I
if we
love
did
it
Bets
too.
Runner correctly, we'd be able to
There's
finish
just
the level
one
right
small
now.
thing we
But
need
instead,
to
we
take
gotta wait
care
to
of
drop, and
first.
we gotta fall down, and we gotta like wait for this thing to go up. And then once we get to this next level, it's another cutscene, which is only about 8 seconds long. 8 seconds, 18. But we're just falling down this very, very long pit. We're heading into the incinerator. That's the title of this level. To wrap up Chapter 1 here.
Here we are.
Which
The incinerator
everyone
room.
that's watching should give
Prepare
themselves a
for
pat on the back,
launch
because
of
they
the
already
rocket
made it through
box
Chapter
of
1 of
it.
Portal.
It didn't get
Or
completely
Portal 2.
burned
Portal
when you
1's Chapter
slammed it
1
down
doesn't
here.
really exist. They don't have a
The little
chapter
portal
system.
device should be around here somewhere. Once you find it, we can
You at
start
home, though.
testing.
Give yourself a
Just
pat on the
like
back
that.
right now.
Good.
There you go.
You have the dual portal device. There should be there. Once testing starts.
Unfortunately, I didn't get this dialogue skip off, which will lose me about 2-ish seconds.
Luckily, we haven't started testing yet. This will be our only chance to talk.
But what I'm going to do here is just walk
the
over this
important thing is
walk over
you're
this rubble
back.
here and get this faster
Mhm.
dialogue. If you
And
play
now
the
I'm
map
on to all your little
casually,
tricks.
um,
So there's nothing to stop us from testing for the rest of your
if
life.
you play this map casually, you'll
After
actually
that,
end up getting a
who knows?
dialogue that's
I might
47-ish
take up a
seconds
hobby.
slower, and we don't want to
Reanimating
deal
the
with
dead,
that.
maybe.
Also, we're not casuals. you know, we don't need to be doing those things that are 47 seconds slower than we need them to be, so we decided to go fast. This is one of the first maps where you actually get to see some technical skill employed, except I didn't press left hard enough. So I'll just take the backup route here, where we're going to skip the entire chamber. This is called Laser Intro, where we're supposed to get introduced to lasers, and I just skipped that entire thing, so oops, guess I don't know about them.
Oops, no portal.
Yeah, no portal. Can't continue the game like this.
Oh.
Whatever shall we do? As if that weren't enough, we go from laser intro into laser stairs, where I'm supposed to do something with a laser. I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do with it. Not like I'm going to be using one anyway, because they didn't teach me how to do that in elementary school, and so I'm just deciding not to.
No. They don't teach you about the lasers in elementary school. It's fortunate.
They don't.
Yeah.
Be safe around heavy machinery, kids. However, this map right here is called dual lasers. There's 2 of them now, which means we do actually have to use them. And we're going to be using those 2 to do something called a laser switch glitch, which you'll see in just a second here. You can kind of guess exactly what it's for. I just flipped right back out of that portal. And we're going to use those 2 lasers flipping between 2 receptacles. And they're both going to be activated for about a tick-ish. If they're both activated for about a tick, you get the door to be activated for about a tick. And the door's mechanic is that if you're pressing up against it, you actually get the rare opportunity to... the game's like, no, we don't want to squish you. You're too important for the game progression to do such a thing. And so they decide not to. However, it's notable, if you're ever playing co-op Portal 2 with a friend, you actually, squishing people indoors is an intended mechanic. What you saw there was a super reportal. We'll explain a little bit more in detail about them later. In a very, very quick explanation, you get stuck in a wall in any, literally you can do it in a multitude of different ways. But if you get a portal close enough to you that the game thinks you're in it, but you're not actually in it, you can stack momentum using the momentum boost that the game gives you when you're trying to stand in the portal. That's why that portal stand was a little bit difficult earlier, because it's actually trying to push us out at 200 units a second. But we can use that to stack those 200 units a second boosts and grab more momentum to get across that gap than we need to.
Let's see what the next
we're heading into trust flings here.
Advanced aerial faith plates.
Which, it's a shame it isn't called Advanced Aerial Faith Plates, because that's what it says in the thing. But it's a lot of fun faith plates and a lot of fun mechanics. If you've got a donation or 2 to read, you can do so at this time.
Alright. So the donation you received that Pushy Dot Incentive was done by Nick E. for $75. Yo, it's your boy. Now sing the song.
I will sing the song. We go way back. He's fantastic. No, what we just did there is a bunch of faith plate tricks, and a lot of portal technology. And when you get an object to fall on a button while you're, again, pressing against a door, even if it's only open for that 1 tick or a little bit of a second, the door will open for you. It's like magic. And we're going to utilize another super reportal like we were talking about in this next chamber. This is pit flings, where you fling in a pit. So you'll see this here. It's a little bit of a precise lineup. We'll look at
Anyway, just an interesting science
a specific angle and just leave.
The
level is, of course, supposed to be played. This counts. I won't lie to you. This is a way to do it.
I don't think it was part of the science experiment, though.
Yeah, we're not getting really the results that she asked for. But it is incredibly fun. And of course, this map here is going to close out Chapter 2. So, again, give yourself a good pat on the back for getting through 2 chapters of Portal 2. And, of course, remember to drink water if you haven't already.
Stay hydrated.
I'll be doing that during Cutscene City, which is up later. Now the console spew in the top left is just so I can look at a more precise trick here. This is double dialogue skip, named such because you skip 2 dialogues. Fortunately, didn't get it there. What you're going to be looking for is 2 big red dialogue things right up there at the top corner that'll tell me that I skipped the dialogue, because the game's like, whoa, we did not just do that.
Whoa.
That is not supposed to happen, but it's like, okay, you can do it anyway. So that skips the, I don't know, 35-ish seconds of dialogue and then just brings this panel down immediately, as opposed to us waiting for 35 seconds for it to come down. Now, what we're going to do is just a little bit of flinging, a little bit of having fun. Some momentum manipulation here, but again, the rest of this level is pretty straightforward. Put a portal on the wall, jump into another portal on the ground, get onto the surface up above. You're just going up above. And of course, we're using lasers for about the second time. We're getting practice in, but still a little unorthodox. This is actually the first intended way of using lasers. This next map is Ricochet. It's one of my favorites. If you don't already have this achievement on Steam, there is an achievement for finishing this map in under 70 seconds, which I am pretty sure we're going to hit. Namely because we're going to do a little trick called panel fling, which if I can get here, you fling on a panel, which just careens you right to the end. It is a miracle of modern engineering that it works.
That is impressive. Wow.
But that cube, it flings up. It's going to block that laser just at the right time for that panel to go down and come back up, just so you can grab the cube and run into the panel at just the right exact time to fling up. There's also a backup for that involves you slamming yourself into a wall and then also a box, which I can imagine isn't that comfortable. Didn't press that button. There we go. What we're going to do here is another one of those cube clip situations. This is called cube through glass, because you put a cube through the glass. Or not. Sick. I'm just going to reload the save on that one. This is my loss, really.
It's just an error in the data. It's okay.
There we go. That's more like it. Yeah, sometimes it will go too far. So it won't hit that button exactly like it's supposed to.
Do you know who else
It's another one of those dialogue tricks.
Did you guess sharks?
I didn't guess sharks.
Oh.
Well, that's wrong. That's good. I respect that.
Yeah. So maybe I didn't guess wrong then.
Yeah, you're good. You could have guessed wrong, but you never know. This is called Bridge the Gap, which is called such because there's a gap and you have to bridge it. However, we're going to be bridging it not using the light bridges. We're going to use momentum tricks, but first we have to do door skip, which, again, we're really good at naming stuff. Like, I don't know how much you're picking up on this. We just love naming things. That's door skip, and what we're going to do here is a little trick called... it doesn't have a name. I like to call it "Don't Play the Level."
Perfect.
If that had worked there, I could have crouched a little earlier and I would have clipped under there. But you can see kind of what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to get to that button without using any of the actual tools available to me. It's intentionally hard, but it's also intentionally very fast. It is one of the harder tricks in the video game, so I'm not surprised that I'm failing it a few times, but this is actually a little more than usual.
This game's impossible, by the way.
A little bit.
Yeah. As someone who's tried to run this game's like impossible.
There we go.
Well done.
That's more like it.
In fact, you did so well. I'm going to note this on your file in the commendation section.
Yeah, I've had PBs where I've had, I don't know, 40 seconds of time saved there, and my current PB has 0, and then like 30 somewhere else.
It's just, yeah.
That's just how it goes sometimes.
That really is sometimes just how it goes in some runs.
Right. This is turret intro. That first one is programmed to flip over anytime you tell it to. I like turret intro because it's the easiest map to just load up and tell someone, hey, look, I speedrun Portal. Because it looks really cool when you do it. There's a cooler route that you can utilize here. Okay, why are you there, my friend? There's a cooler route you can utilize with just tossing the cube onto that button and portaling over to the end. But again, it's I'm doing a little bit of safety, and I also didn't get the momentum that I needed. I just didn't, I wasn't going to talk about that. That's it's bad for my public image.
No, can't do it.
So you may be confused about the passage of time.
I'm just going to be pre-shooting some portals. This is one of the simplest tests in the game.
I thought you'd want to know.
It's called laser relays. Where I'm just gonna throw this there and call it a day.
But you're going to be dead in 60 years.
Sometimes that's all you need.
I've been
Right.
working on a belated
And this is another longer dialogue.
Well, more of a belated birthday medical procedure. Well,
Technically, it's a medical experiment.
What's important?
She's getting me a birthday present.
Oh.
Because it's my birthday soon.
That jumpsuit you're wearing looks stupid.
Of course, me referring to Chell, but also me referring to me, who shares the same birthday as the video game Portal 2. So you can look up when my birthday is.
Is it close to your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, is it actually? Oh. Can we get a happy birthday for Base Driven?
He probably. Oh, wait.
Okay, so I'm gonna do some unorthodox gaming here. I'm not reloading the save just for like comedy's sake. This turret was supposed to die, and so it shot me off of this platform, and then it fell over of its own accord.
As it does.
And so I could have reloaded the save just to make it a little bit faster, but I think it's a little more funny if I just go over there and see what's going on. It slows you down, but what are you gonna do?
You know, I think we should get some donations to wish you a happy birthday. We need some happy birthday wishes. You at home could wish
You at
Base
home
Driven.
could wish me a happy birthday if you so choose.
Yes. With an exclamation mark donate, you could do that and support charity.
Yes, it is not uncommon to just circle jump into a wall. You're doing enough wild movements that it is, again, not at all out of the question to just like slam yourself into a wall when you're starting a level. And you get real excited about playing the level, and then you get out of the elevator and suddenly you're not doing so hot anymore. This is a music cue. It's good. That was laser versus turret. This is pull the rug. These are the other two very, very simple maps in the game, where you just kind of play them intended. We haven't really found a whole lot of skips for them. There's like optimizations and whatnot, and of course we know how to do it. But so much of this is just, make the dialogue play as quick as you can and get out of the level.
After all these years,
if you didn't catch that, we are now heading to my surprise. It also wraps up Chapter 3. But Chapter 4 is called The Surprise. And what we're going to get here is none other than a surprise.
Is it our birthday gift?
Well, I'd love for it to be, but unfortunately it's not. You can have some confetti, though. That's cool.
Yay!
I love confetti.
Oh, come on. If it makes you feel any better, they
Pre-hopped a little fast. And of course, this is column blocker here. What you're gonna see is some, pretty standard. All right. It was pretty standard until that. Okay, so that's just in the goo, and I have to reload it. Sweet. We're doing a backup route right now. Where I count to 3 in my head and hope the cubes show up. Normally this goes a little faster. Like I can use a couple movement tricks and a little bit of optimization to get across a little faster, but the cube decided to not cooperate, so we're not going to do that. However, the interesting part of the level starts here. And it's just a trick that the Source Engine does. Essentially, when it checks for collision, there's like a whole list of things that it does. And it runs through all of them. And one of the last things that it does when it checks for that is just to lose all collision with the object that you're stuck in between. So we can just get out of that elevator. And so this is actually the only part in the game where, except for one level later, where the level transition is triggered by the player being at the bottom of the shaft and not the elevator itself. So skipping that elevator is really useful. There's a couple of semi-precise lineups, but it's not actually that difficult of a trick. That's a wide portal. I'm going to have to put that somewhere else. What I'm doing here is laser chaining, where normally you're supposed to chain 3 lasers, and I'm only going to chain 2 because I can strafe in the air. Just move all the way to the end of the level here. Just get a little bit of a quick jump off. The next map is called Triple Laser. Do you want to wager a guess as to why it's called that?
Could it be because it has 3 lasers in it?
It absolutely is. You're right. Ding, 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 ding. We're going to come into here. Triple Laser is also one of the quickest maps in the game. Shoot a couple portals, get what you need to do another laser switch glitch, and leave.
It was easy, really.
It was easy, really.
Look at things objectively. See what you don't need.
Yeah, and again, that switch glitch, just is because all 3 of those receptacles are activated at the same time. I had to do it twice to get the dialogue to activate. That's what you have to do, but otherwise, if you just do it once, you can finish the level because the door will open for you. Oh, I missed that portal. You can do it. It's just... Oh, missed that portal, but that's okay. Got the early activation at least. What we're going to do is we're going to get this light bridge to come up before it's supposed to, and then do some of this action. So we don't have to talk to Wheatley for as much as we can, because honest, like, who wants to talk to that guy?
I want to talk to
You want to talk to that? Okay, maybe, okay. You and, like, maybe a few other people. I don't want to talk to that guy because I'm playing video games. Yeah, so this is Jailbreak. I did not do the stair boost there, which means that light bridge will appear. But if you do a stair boost, it'll save about 5 seconds and that bridge. This is Escape, which is the second part of the escape sequence. At least the escape sequence in Chapter 4. I'm coming through here. I'm going to do it, like, a lot of these are movement-based maps. And my movement's actually a little bit lackluster right now. I'm not showing you the best of the best. But, you know, this is a speed wall strafe. You see a lot of bunny hopping. I'm totally wall strafing on the wrong side of the wall because I did not practice earlier this morning like I said I would. But what I'm going to do now is turn on the lights. Now, it's going to get a lot brighter over there on that screen and for you at home, mainly because if I did the next section of the game without the lights on, you wouldn't be able to see it. And there's a good chance that I wouldn't be able to either. Mainly because this trick that I'm about to do is called flashlight skip. And the essence of that is that if it will get dark enough without these lights on to you know, make it impossible to continue the game in a visible state. On certain monitors, like the color gamut just wouldn't make it. Unfortunately, a little bit of a slow flashlight skip there. That's about 10 seconds, and I think I spent about 12 seconds on it. So, you know, stocks. But so yeah, this is another movement map where you're just skipping that, and of course you hit this trigger over here and Wheatley just starts talking at you like he always does. I forgot to do a CTG there. That's a crouch toggle glitch. You'll notice I'm pressing crouch on every other hop. That makes every other hop tick perfect. But on conveyor belts, for example, you can hold it and it'll make every hop tick perfect because of Portal 2. And if it's not on an even surface, there's no telling you what can happen. So a lot of this is just, you know, doing what you can movement-wise and hoping nothing bad happens. Utilizing portals for instant travel, that's of course a key mantra of this game. If you're not doing that, then you probably should be. But that is Turret Factory. You can tell because there's turrets all over the place and they keep making them. And what we're going to head into right now is Turret Sabotage, which, again, I'm pretty sure you can probably guess why it's named that.
You think it's because we sabotaged the turrets?
No, actually, we skipped that part.
Oh.
Lines are not right. Please exit the termination line.
No, we're going to come up here. We're going to do a little bit of movement trickery. I'm going to get on the side of the conveyor belt so it's not actually pushing me backwards, but I can still jump on it a little bit. Jump over here, get to this platform, portal over, skipping this other bit where a turret tries to shoot at you. And this is that second map where we're going to see another pancake shot, that shot that you saw at the beginning of the game through that door. Normally you're supposed to wait here and grab a defective turret, but we don't need it. You know, you still can, and in speedrun mod it's actually nearly as fast to do so because of the way that it's set up. But we're going to just use a precise-ish lineup here. Put that portal right there, do what we need to do. Wheatley's going to nag at us to, like, look at the door or whatever, and I do not care for what he has to say to me. So we're just going to leave.
Can't believe you didn't look at his door.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's going to keep talking at me for a little bit about it, but he also, like, he notices that I left, and he kind of, like, I hurt his feelings a little bit, and I feel bad about it.
That did not end well.
But he doesn't miss a beat, that guy. And so he's just right here, and he's talking to me about these science projects he found in the basement.
I'm pretty sure we're going the right way.
Which there are 40 potato batteries. That's what you got in there.
Solid.
Which totally is not foreshadowing.
So let's take care of that neurotoxin generator as well.
Again, that was turret sabotage. We're heading into neurotoxin sabotage here, and after neurotoxin sabotage is the start of the cutscene city. I call it that. Of course, it's a name I made up. But what we're going to be doing here, neurotoxin sabotage is a cycle-based map, so how fast you go depends on the time you get, but the time you get is going to be pretty consistent if you go the same speed. Now, I'm admittedly not going my fastest, so I don't think I'm going to get the greatest cycle on the planet here. But wait, if you press this button, shoot this portal, shoot through this transparent part of this door that doesn't look transparent, but it is, I promise. Banger. That's a 103 cycle, which is actually the one that I usually get, so you know, better than I thought I was going to do. And then once I hit this door, we're going to go into a 53-second cutscene and then a 3.5-minute interactive cutscene of sorts where I just kind of do like a couple things. And then another minute and 17 long cutscene, and then another 10-minute long cutscene.
Do you think during those cutscenes we'll get birthday wishes?
Maybe, I don't know. It's entirely possible, but until then, Jedi Amanda, the floor is yours.
Well, I am here waiting to be able to read you birthday wishes, so I want to tell the audience as well as Twitch chat, if you'd like to donate, please do !donate so you can do that. We'll be here and I'll be ready. Otherwise, please note that we do have new incentives. Several incentives for Resident Evil 4, including picking the costume, egging a truck, choosing laser colors, and watching the Krauser cutscene. And then you also have 3 incentives for Dark Souls 3. Name the character, pick the character model, and also not wearing armor for select bosses. And we also have one for Shadow of War, where you'll play as Shadow King in a questionably drawn final boss of Shadow War Succession. So, again, please donate, !donate, and yeah.
Okay. Well, this is about the interactive part. After I hit this door, I have to sit here for another 90 seconds, but it's a great opportunity for me to really focus on you know, some of the people that we've been missing. You know, all of the HUD stuff you see on screen right now, of course, that in-game timer, that, like, you know, the stuff that I've been reading the dialogue fades off of, that is using SAR. It's a plugin that was originally built by Nex, N-E-K-Z, and modified by a whole host of people. Most prominently, Blenderist09 has made Ghost Race support for it, so we can now race our friends in Portal 2. A single-player game made multiplayer. But we've also seen, again, even more prominently, stuff from Mlug, who's the current maintainer, so to speak, of the SAR plugin. A new release was posted just yesterday, so it actually sent me into a frenzy trying to figure out how to get it here. But we worked that out just fine. Blender, Mlog, Kersey has worked on it. He's made some stuff like, again, the speedrun mod, which makes the game more enjoyable for speedrunners. And like the Chaos mod was originally built by Nex and reformed into the Kersey mod, which is a kind of Chaos mod style, like GTA 5 Chaos mod, if you've ever played that, like style thing for Portal 2 with upwards of 100 modifiers that you can get. Other notable stuff going on, I know we've got a wiki, helpfully maintained by everyone who knows how to maintain a wiki. We have a regular poster to the pull request in AMJ, who is like, he's our typo guy. He's like, hey, you missed one.
There's always someone.
Yeah. Thanks, AMJ. Appreciate it. Notable, one more thing about the speedrun mod. If you are into listening to music that I made the credits theme for that. That features a couple of synth patches of Portal 2's Karamia audio, or which you'll hear towards the end, along with the other credits track. But also featuring Can't Even, the former world record holder, current number 3, on Recorder. So if you want to check that out, it's on GitHub, github.com/p2sr. What I'm doing here is called the elevator skip. Named that because you skipped the elevator. But you can see this cutscene that's supposed to play if you're in the elevator. It's not happening. I mean, it's happening right now, but I'm not in there. And so this saves about 2.5 minutes. This was found shortly after the game came out. A guy named McPedro96. And so it used to be called the McPedro glitch, so I like to call it that. But we're going to fall down this tube. This is the other part where the cutscene is triggered by the player being at the bottom, and now we have 1:17 to chat about our futures. Or, whatever else we feel like. I think one time I was talking about, I had a friend of mine who drove a bus. Yeah. And he was telling me about all the stuff that he does when he drives a bus, and he was telling me the story about like how the change machine stopped working. It was like the most mediocre commentary block I had like ever. But I loved it. It was fantastic. But it's like, I don't want to hear about the change machine. You know what I'm talking about? No, instead, and I don't have it pulled up right now, but SAR is also an incredible plugin because it can do a lot of HUD stuff that's not this. For example, Rainbow Phoenix is another prime creator of SAR. They invented the Sartris function, which is exactly for stuff like this, where a game of Tetris is played on your monitor using the HUD while the game is being played. It is a fantastic little mode. Again, if you're really if you're trying to get into a speedrun, this is maybe the best way to do it. This is the best game to play. Of course I'm biased, but there is a lot of really fantastic and up-to-date tutorials, and there's new stuff that's invented every day, but there's also a lot of tutorials for that kind of thing. Someone always has a video.
Thank you.
How's Shaq doing back there?
Shaq's doing good. Shaq was about to talk about his future.
Sick.
And it's like, oh wait, we had Sartris. No.
Right, yeah, no, we're not gonna, nah.
No.
No, we're playing Portal 2 now, which is, again, I think the most notable development in the last 5 minutes, is that we just dropped about 5,000 meters in altitude, well, we skipped the plot twist, but spoilers for the game that came out 11 years ago, GLaDOS is just got turned into a potato. So if you're not into that kind of thing, not the game for you. This is Underground. You just completed a lot of portaling. There was a long shot there in the middle. I still have the lights on, mind you. I like to keep them on because it's easier to see like that, and it's easier to see a couple of things that are coming up. We are coming up on the map Cave Johnson, where we're supposed to meet the titular Cave Johnson, and then we don't. He does show up in the next map, like he talks to you. You just don't meet him. You don't get to know his backstory or whatever on the limo ride over.
And about a certain yellow fruit.
Right. Well, that's something for later.
Yep.
Although I won't spoil anything at this exact time. Again, taking it a little safe on that shot, and then we're gonna do the cliff shot. Okay, maybe we're not. Cliff shot is what I was about to say. We're gonna do one of those actions, which is just gonna be us coming out to this edge here, rather precariously. And I normally do the jumping route. Actually, I'm gonna do the jumping route because I think it's more fun. I was gonna say I thought I was far enough out to warrant just sitting there and not doing anything about it, but okay, sometimes it does not go your way. Okay, why are we doing this?
Friendly reminder: game is impossible.
What are we talking about? If I do, no, I just moved my mouse. You can't be doing that. Imagine this is the thing that gives you difficulty in a run that you've largely been successful in. Hey, I got it! There we go. You'll notice that we kind of shot around this cliff here. And I'm going to just do one more portal stand over to there. Get this portal up here, and we're just going to use a reportal plus a scripted momentum boost off of this little platform. So we can just fling ourselves all the way over to the far side. And then, normally Cave Johnson talks to you a lot more in there, but we didn't go in there.
Oh.
But of course, he'll come back in about 5 seconds. So, long time no see. We're going to jump here to get some, early dialogue off. Or not early dialogue. The lights turn on, and you can't move out of the elevator until the lights turn on, because the way that they handled the lights turning on in this specific level was, let's make a copy of the level with the lights turned on and teleport you there when it tells the game to. Immediately after that, we're doing a seam shot, so you'll see me kind of staring at a wall for a second, and then going over there. Now, that's an incredibly tight space. It's within a thousandth of a coordinate, and in a map or two, you'll see one that's a little more specific. I didn't think I was going to make that, so I held crouch like you're not supposed to. But those seam shots are made using differences in clip brushes. If you have a simple brush and a complex brush, which again, unless you make maps, you don't really need to know what those are. For our purposes, all we need to know is that when you put two of them together, it looks like they're solid, but in reality, there's a little tiny gap in between them that you can shoot through from a whole lot of angles. And of course, we just finished that second part of the level without doing the first part of the second part of the level. Not using a seam shot, but just using some clever portal mechanics and a little bit of momentum. We're coming into bomb flings here. Aptly named because there are paint bombs that fling. Although they are called paint bombs, they kind of explode all over you. Part of the rules is that if you heard the last dialogue line, we don't know what element it's made of, but it does not like the human skeleton. So you're trying not to have it explode all over you, but, what can you do? Anyway, we're just going to fly over here, get the gel that we need, and then head over to the next map, which is Crazy Box. Which is actually one of the few maps that does not involve a crazy box in and of itself. In the intended route, you're supposed to get a cube that's covered in blue gel, so it bounces all over the place and does all this crazy action.
That's great.
And we don't do that. We're going to do another seam shot, this time about 3 times more precise than the last one. So much so that the coordinate HUD that I'm using doesn't really cover all of it. But if you're careful enough, this is a slow lineup because I have... There we are. You can watch that blue portal on the top of your screen there. And if I look at where I need to be. Of course, this sometimes takes a little bit. It's like a patience game. There's a specific set of coordinates that this works at, and sometimes it's a little persnickety about where it is. Of course, sometimes you gotta reset your reticular. Using big words, I think I invented that one just now.
Do you think Caves Johnson might send us some donations during this?
It's entirely possible. It happened during GDQ when we had it, so.
Maybe Cave Johnson is watching.
Yeah, a little bit.
Send it, yeah.
You never know. Of course, I'm in the corner like I'm supposed to, and I'm looking at the place where I'm supposed to be. And this is just unfortunately not working like I'm supposed to. So I'm gonna take a backup route after setting it up one more time because I feel like it. Like this doesn't usually end up this poorly, but that's why I have a lot of padding in my estimate. Okay, cool. Let's play Portal 2.
Play the game.
So what we're going to do here is, again, it's a little bit of a backup route of sorts. We're going to get some gel on the side here, and we're going to actually just move all the way through. We're going to get some gel on the other side of this fence, go to the other side of this fence, jump on top of the speaker. This is undeniably a cooler looking route, and I don't know why I don't do it. I mean, it's because it's slower, but, you just come down here, you take your shots. You have to shoot at the bottom panel here so that it actually triggers the door. You jump over the door, and you're up here where you're supposed to be, where we should have been about 45 seconds ago. Now you'll notice I just kind of destroyed the glass without a second thought. You don't need the gel to do that. Because we just utilize something called crouch triggering. When you're in the air, of course, you crouch and your hitbox gets smaller, but if you're in the air, your hitbox will actually get smaller, but also move up for just a little bit. And so using that, we can just move the box a little bit, and the game is like, oh! Something just happened. Yeah. So fortunately, we got out a crazy box, kind of unscathed. I'm, kind of sad I couldn't show you that scene shot. It is cool, and it is very fast when done properly. Okay, so good news, everyone. Helix hasn't completed Portal 2 past Chapter 6. I just got the Wake Up Call achievement, which I think is actually for Chapter 1, which is weird. But, hey, we take what we can get.
Congratulations to Helix.
Good work. But yeah, that's Potatoes. There's a whole room over there where the potato is, and we just didn't go to it. Somehow, the potato ends up on our gun, and I'm not entirely sure how that happened, because I certainly didn't do it. What we're going to do here is shoot through a little gap in the wall, do some funky, fresh portal replacing. This is a Pika portal of sorts. Actually, I just messed that one up. What is going on over here? There we go. But so if I put that portal on the other side, as I kind of fall through it, I can. Okay, you know what? I missed the dialogue on that because I was crouching, and so I didn't hit the elevator like I normally do. But it's fun. It's very cool, and you put that portal exactly where you need it to be. Yeah, Potatoes is currently going through like a, midlife crisis of sorts. It's funny, actually, every map in Chapter 7, which is the one we're playing now, can be completed using the Super Portal. The technically faster, but only if you do it fast, route for this is a Super Portal, but it's more fun to do this because you get to jump as high as you can off of the slanted surface by mashing the scroll wheel. Opportunity I mentioned earlier. Again.
You could work for Aperture Science.
I could. Yeah, also, if anyone's looking for a job, right there, Cave Johnson wants you to work there. So this upcoming map is Conversion Intro. It's where you hear the lemon thing.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the lemon thing?
I'm familiar with the lemon thing.
You know about the lemon thing? Okay.
Are you all familiar with the lemon thing?
No? I'm not going to say it word for word, mainly because, and I hate to break your heart here, about a year ago, the lemon skip was invented, which allows you, using the super reportal that we were just talking about, and a couple of real interesting lineups, we can take momentum or get stuck in the wall like we're supposed to. And of course, that time I didn't get stuck deep enough. There's a whole list of, there's a laundry list of criteria you have to meet if you want to get stuck deep enough, just like that. And so I gotta get that portal next to me. I gotta shoot my portals. This is way too much momentum. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. But that's the room where you would normally hear the lemon rant, and since we just skipped it all, we're not going to do any of that action.
Hate to see it.
Yeah.
But you also love to see it because you nailed the trick.
Right. That's actually faster than it normally is. Second try is okay. So yeah, we're just going to jump over this elevator, do what we need to do on that front, and then we'll make our way to 3 Gels, which is another map that is just, it's a lot harder casually and a lot longer casually. A lot of 3 Gels' bit is that it is tall. And so you can imagine that's the perfect candidate for a super reportal. And so we'll do that later. But what we're going to do right here is what's called a stuck launch. You, again, may be able to wager a very brief guess as to why it is called that. Because you get stuck, and then you launch. I'm going to just shoot a quick portal up there, get the momentum that I need, slant off the actually unsuccessfully slant off the surface, but do the trick anyway because I feel like it, and end up in this room over here that normally you'd have to go over there and get on a catwalk and shoot a portal and fall down and whatnot.
You don't need it though. You just stuck launch, nail it. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, normally I have different sound cues for this, but it's eerily quiet. I can hear what I'm listening. We're cool on audio, but it is not something that I'm used to because I can't hear the pipes unless I didn't press the button. That'll do it.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is a little bit of a backup. I was, wondering why nothing was happening, and I figured, oh, it's just the setup. See, look, now we're good.
Yep.
Now we're in business. And so I'm gonna go to this semi-precise lineup, 150 and 0.8 and a bit. Put a portal here. Do some of this. Line up exactly where we need to be, and I hope that was the right place because I just saved over it. We're going to line up at this corner, shoot a couple of shots, get stuck in the ground, and leave. Normally there's this elevator that's just leaving right about now that takes forever to go down and forever to go back up. But that wraps up Chapter 7. Of course, I'm I'm safely behind PB pace, but that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think pretty normally I'm about 4 minutes faster than this by this point. But we've had a couple of minor catastrophes that we've managed to minimize.
And we learned your birthday was coming up.
Right, that's
Yeah.
true. What else can you do?
Exactly.
This is Test. It's the very first one that Wheatley invented. Because he was thinking okay, what happens if I try to invent something? And so he made this test where there's a button and it's connected to a door and there's supposed to be these cubes that walk onto it. But they're not very smart cubes because Wheatley made them. And so they don't. And so we have to do it ourselves. But if we do it ourselves, then there's this whole cutscene that plays. So I have to do it myself from over here. And have that cube land on that button so I can leave before the cutscene starts. Because right now, he would have been talking for about a minute and a half. And now I'm in this elevator where he's got another thing to show us. Now, That's the thing about Test. He made this, right?
Yeah.
And so of course we're coming up into the part that like he built himself. And you can kind of see like it's like.
I wonder what the name of it is.
Well, I don't want to, diss his test making skills, but like, come on, like, look at this, it's good. It's good for him,
Well-made test.
It's hard for them, and he's telling me to solve it again.
Oh, all right.
Which I mean, whatever, it's not that hard.
Can't blame me for trying. Okay, new tests.
Oh.
New tests.
Oh, I guess we're doing it again.
Somewhere.
Nah, I'm just trying to make the dialogue play like a second faster. So this next map is called Funnel Intro, of course, because they get introduced to the funnels. But the funnels have a really cool and interesting glitch that I'll kind of let you see it first, and then I'll explain more on the details on how it functions. This is called the crouch fly glitch. Hey, Helix, more achievements.
Everything's good. I just invented some more tests. Not entirely. Test there on the wall. That's brand new.
To move myself down. Sick. So I don't know if you saw in that level, I am currently in a flying state. I'm on the ground. But if I jump, I will just keep going up. And you'll see that utilized in this next chamber. This is a ceiling button coming up. But it works in essentiality because the game has two like V-physics hitboxes that it's trying to interact you with. It has like you yourself, the person, like the player,
You at home.
and it has a physics hitbox. And what it does there is when you get into a funnel, it sets your funnel count to 1. Like that's not anything out of the question. When you crouch in a funnel, your other hitbox is like, oh,
Whoa there.
what happened here?
Hold on, speedrunner.
And so now your funnel counts at 2.
You are not going to believe this. I found a single
And you can imagine that, of course, you're not really supposed to like figure that out. This was something that was found day 1 of
Really?
release, like April 19th, 2011. There was one user that found that you could crouch in a funnel and it would make you fly places.
There we go.
And now we know your birthday's in 2 weeks.
That's true. Great work. That's one of those cube throw actions. But yeah, and so your funnel counts at 2. And so when you leave that funnel, all that's going to happen is your funnel count is going to decrease by 1 because they never expected you to be in 2 funnels at one time. That would be a little silly. And so your funnel count is at 1. So you get that flying power. However, when you get into another funnel, it's like, now I know what you did. And so now I can bunny hop again.
Yeah. It figures it out. Catches on to you.
But, of course, we can keep that through levels. We're going to get it 2 more times. One time at a few more levels, and then we're going to lose that again. And then we're going to get it back in Laser Catapult. Or we're going to get it back in... we're going to get it in Laser Catapult. And then we're going to lose it later in Laser Platform. And then we are going to...
Pages being turned. So that's just what I was doing. Just reading books.
We're going to get it back in Repulsion Polarity, and then we're going to take that to the end of the game. I am goated with the sauce. This is another one of those long dialogues. What you just saw me do was... Hang on, give me a second. It's called the Great Shot. Like it is a great shot. But it's also a shot on a grate. It's also sometimes called the portal cut because we're putting our crosshair in a very, very specific position that tricks the game's engine into thinking that we can put a portal there. Like, we totally can't. I won't even lie to you. That's not supposed to be something we can do. But we can do it. And, of course, this is just some, careful movement, little bit of trickery action, and then we finish the level in at, 22 seconds. Like, he's not even done moving it yet. He had this line about, I'm going to move the test chambers closer to you to see if that's better. And it's not.
No. Because you had a great shot.
That's
great
true.
shot, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
Yep,
I
yep,
appreciate
yep.
that. No, it's very cool. That was Stop the Box. Named that because we stopped the box. And this is Laser Catapult, named because there are, I guess, lasers and catapults in it. I'm not actually sure.
The names keep getting more and more creative.
Yeah. I mean, it's a step up from, like, dual lasers, you know? Well, so now we've got that crouch fly glitch again. One of the notable things about the crouch fly glitch is that you can only go down and up via, like, you know, level geometry. I'm not going down at a very rapid clip right now, and, like, I'm okay with that. Because this is a marathon. Normally I'd reload a save and, you know, see if I get something marginally better. Normally I'd also try and get through that door a little quicker by crouching. But I can't crouch, because if I crouch, then the game will figure out, oh, yeah, I know what you did.
You speedrunner, you.
Helix, more achievements.
So lots of these achievements.
Yep. And so I'm just going to AD spam all the way over here, and I'm going to try to get this button off first try. Oh, little too hot. Oh. Came in a little too saucy.
Sometimes you play Portal 2 so saucy, and it just doesn't... Like marinara?
You know how it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to get this cube. I'm not even going to bother about it. There we go.
Yeah. Game is impossible, by the way.
I'm gonna throw that cube up, throw it over here, put the other thing right here, just so I can do what I want. And then actually, this level can just be finished by putting the cube there and seeing what happens. The laser just like reflects in just the correct direction if you put the cube on that portal and, you know, just set it up in such a way. Again, we're gonna lose the crouch fly here, just so we can fall all the way down here, so we can avoid actually, you know, going in the funnel, because funnels are slow. They're slower than walking. You know, so they take us places at about 100 units a second. Again, you don't even know, like, actually how fast that is, but you need to know that it's slow. So all we're going to do here is get our cube onto this button, do this again. This is prop catch, so I'm not getting a standing crouch fly. Which is what we were doing for the previous times. I'm just holding crouch, you'll see that. And I have to look at Peabody over here, who's going to try and escape. Actually, I have to do this real quick. Because if you don't put the funnel there, the game's like, oh, nothing happened. You didn't finish the level yet. Oops.
You're going to love it.
Oops, no level.
Yeah, right. But if you do that, then you get to have the experience of, you know, hearing a dialogue. If you don't do that, you're just sitting here for, like, I don't know, 15 odd seconds, and you're just like...
Look at the time I could be saving.
Yeah, right. Like, you know, I'm doing something I don't want to be doing right now. Yeah, and then this is Repulsion Polarity, like we were talking about. It's the last level of Chapter 8. I like to call it the start of Chapter 9 because you do get the crouch fly here, and then you keep it through Chapter 9. Just
was
for,
having a great
for, like,
time.
utility. So now we have the crouch fly. We're going to keep it there for a little bit. The last, like, tricky thing here is that we need to get through this door, which should not be an issue. Just come on around the way, and we have a little fun with it. We get in this elevator, and now it's Chapter 9 to, hey, Helix, more achievements. That's that Ricochet achievement, actually. We're like, only about, I don't know, 40 minutes behind.
What your big surprises?
Easy.
Which, I don't know, maybe it's because we don't have the Steam Cloud on, I don't know.
Yeah.
But if I take this, I can just jump off here. There's an invisible wall there that you couldn't see, and you still can't see because it's invisible. I'm going to strafe as hard as I can this way. Until I hit this wall, and then I'm going to start speed wall strafing. Now, the object of the game in Finale 1 is to just go places as fast as you can. Actually, playing this level intended would be faster if there wasn't a funnel down there that, again, is slow and we don't want to take it. However, the funnel is like the only way to get here, so we had to find some like really inventive ways to manage our vertical velocity. So if I bonk off this monitor, I could just... Okay, so I can speed lock in the other direction.
We get to say hi to Wheatley again.
It's like,
hi,
yeah,
Wheatley.
sick, hi.
Hi.
What's good? But so, yeah, we can bonk off that thing, get in here. Hey, Helix, you know how many achievements you've gotten in the past, like, I don't know, 15 minutes? at least 5.
Yeah. Let's go, Helix.
Okay, I speed locked a little too hard in this direction, so I have to do this redirect down again. We're going to use this piece of bridge right here to just, you know, we're just going to slide on down. We're going to do what we need to here. Land on this railing, and, I don't know, cause general mayhem. I'm going to get hit with the back of this thing. I am going to get hit by the back of that thing. The back of that thing has a kill plane, kind of understandably.
That was some general mayhem.
Yeah, because it is something that kills you. That's better than the one that I had. See, practice makes perfect, everyone. Yeah, so I can stand on this railing. I can get all the way out of the way, and that's Finale 1. Now, Finale 2 is a little more interesting because we can come across this way and, you know, leave. You're supposed to wait for this thing to show up, and we don't want to do that.
You don't need waiting.
Yeah, I'm just going to trigger this thing so I can get my velocity back, and then... Actually, it looks like I'm going to need to do this funny little recovery strat that I invented. Or not. I don't know actually what I'm supposed to do right now. Yeah, I'm sliding up this, which is not what you're supposed to do. You're kidding me. Okay. I've got to get better at making quick saves. So you get to see this part of the game again. Hopefully, like, somewhat better this time. At least we're getting really good at that thing.
Yeah, it's not crushing us today.
Whew.
No way.
No, I'm not getting crushed. Are you getting crushed?
I'm not getting crushed.
You're getting okay. Great.
I hope not.
So what I'm gonna try to do, assuming that everything goes to plan, is not speed lock in the other direction. Again, that's where that 300 velocity thing is coming into play. I'm hitting like 300.63, and it's knocking me in the other direction, and I don't care for it. What we can do here is what we're supposed to do in the first place, is strafe across, do... Oh, for crying out loud.
The game is impossible, by the way.
You know what? Okay, close enough. Cool. We're on this railing. This is where we're supposed to be, again, 2 minutes ago. So I'm about minus 16. I'm going to do some of this and knock myself down the stairs here. So it's going to skip the rest of the level over there. There's a funnel. There's a couple of mashy spike plate situations. There's this pipe, which we don't need. And what I'm going to do right now is just bonk my head on the stairs, jump on here, bonk my head on a lamp, bonk my head on this triangle, and then move on. So through an arduous Finale 2, we've made it to Finale 3.
Hey, we made it, though.
Long and not needed. So what I'm going to do is just some careful portal placement. Finale 3 is maybe the easiest of all the finales, which is kind of... it makes sense because it leads into Finale 4, which is like our final boss fight of sorts. You got to come around here because there's an invisible wall that doesn't let you do it. And then you got to come over here, get this momentum, come across the way, strafe a little bit, hit some velocity, hit some geometry that you couldn't see beforehand, jump across this, and race this funnel all the way over there, which you can kind of see we can go faster than them. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go up the way, and now we're in Finale 4. We're on pace for about, I don't know, like a 111 flat, which is, I think about... Like, my PB right now is a 104.21. But there's a couple more tricks that we have up our sleeve, even in this last level of the game. Now, normally, you know, we sit here and we walk up, and you can just, like, kind of, you know, you wait in front of this pipe for a little bit. I'm going to make it a little more interesting just to show you exactly how slow it is. For my next trick, I'm going to start in front of this pipe, and I'm going to crouch walk across the entire level. Now he's gonna talk at you the whole time. That's fine. He's allowed to. He's like well within his rights. You just antagonized him for like, I don't know, an hour.
We even said hi to him on the monitor.
See, right? He's like over there. It's like you should at least call me back, and I'm gonna crouch walk all the way back over there. Like he's still got stuff to say to him. Like he's still talking to me. He's like, oh, here's how I'm gonna kill you, and it's like, okay.
All right. Shoutouts to your logo on your portal gun, by the way.
That's also, yeah, the custom portal gun is, I figured I'd bring it. Anyway, now that the fight is nearly started, he's gonna throw some bombs at us. And one of the things that I'm gonna do here is a single bomb preserve. I'm not gonna do the double one because that's hard and I don't feel like it. What I'm gonna do is kind of look at the floor here, wait for him to throw him. Wait for him to throw, shoot a portal over there, and then see if those make it. They do. Good. So those bombs are now being juggled back and forth, and I can just grab this guy, put him on there, and now we've got some bombs to work with. However, I can't do them too fast because they won't work, but I can't do them too slow because then we'll trick the game into... hang on. I think that was good. That could have been a little late. But I don't think it was. If it was a little late, what Wheatley would do actually is just keep throwing bombs at us, like until we finished, and even after we finished. Just in cycles, he just keep being mad at us, which again I get it. We just antagonized him for about 40 minutes, but
just sit high in the monitor.
Right. Make it a fool. But he's just going to throw one more at us, and then we're going to do some flinging, and then we've got another about a minute or so to wait until we have our signature timing event called the early moonshot, which is one more thing. You can probably guess why it's called that. Normally, to finish this game, you shoot the moon. We're about a minute out from time-ish. And so what we're going to do here is normally you shoot the moon. It's up there somewhere. We'll find it. But, of course, there's this, stuff on the ground we can shoot portals on. And that's all fun and good, but it's going to get washed away in a little bit. However, the announcer just detected a fire in the Stalemate Resolution Annex, which is that thing. And so it's going to, wash off all this stuff on the floor, but I'm going to shoot this portal right here. So it stays there, which is not something you're supposed to do. And then time's going to come up pretty briefly here. We're going to hit this. I mistimed it, so I'm not going to do it again. Normally on that fourth shot, you just hit the shot, and then of course time's going to come up in about 6 or 7 seconds here. But I have no idea how to fix this place. Thanks for having me. It's fantastic to be here. And it's always good to play Portal 2 for a live audience. It's good to be back.
That was a very fun run. Thank you for that.
Yeah. The credits are after this. I don't know if that was abundantly clear.
Where can people find you?
I am, of course, on Twitch and every music streaming platform ever. Twitch.tv/bssdrvn. It's pronounced bass driven, but it doesn't look like that. But that's what I get for not putting vowels in my name. So of course we're heading here. I'm just gonna speed this up a little bit. Of course, the game's over, so I don't. We don't worry about turning the cheats to 1. We don't need to worry about it. So we're gonna watch this cutscene play out in hyper speed. Because we need to have it happen in order to get to Karamia Audio and Want You Gone.
And we get to hear you sing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I should probably
get
hydrated if it happened already.
You all stay hydrated. You all stay hydrated. There's a water fountain right over there.
There is.
Water jug. Yep.
I filled it up there. It is a pretty good water fountain.
It is. Agreed.
Hey Rocket, can you up my game audio just a little bit? Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Yeah. This is just the turret, so I'll just be humming along. nice little break. If you know the words, you can sing along. That's one song. That's one of them. It's the opera one. That's the hard one.
You did it in the soprano range. Good job.
Yeah. My falsetto hasn't gotten that good of a workout in years. If anyone knows the words to this one, they'll be on the screen so you can read them.
Sing along.
Well, here we are again. It's always such a pleasure. Remember when you tried to kill me twice? Oh, how we laughed and laughed, except I wasn't laughing. Under the circumstances, I've been shockingly nice. You want your freedom, take it. That's what I'm counting on. I used to want you dead, but now I only want you gone. I'm gonna switch down an octave because this is getting hard.
Good call.
She was a lot like you, maybe not quite as heavy. Now little Carolyn is in here too. One day they woke me up so I could live forever. It's such a shame the same will never happen to you. You've got your short, sad life left. That's what I'm counting on. I'll let you get right to it now. I only want you gone. Goodbye, my only friend. Oh, did you think I meant you? That would be funny if it weren't so sad. Well, you have been replaced. I don't need anyone now. When I delete you, maybe I'll stop feeling so bad. Go make some new disaster. That's what I'm counting on. You're someone else's problem. Now I only want you gone. Now I only want you gone. Now I only want you gone. Cheers. Woo! If you feel so inclined, you can donate to Save the Music right here, right now, ! Donate if you're so inclined for more performances like that at a high school or middle school near you.
I honestly do wish I could take it all back. And not just because I'm stranded in space.
I'm in space.
I know you are, mate. Yeah, we're both in space.
Thanks to everyone who's donated. Please check out our